Good morning and welcome to Today in LA. My name is Mike Amos and we're coming to you from our studios on South Brunty Street in Troy, Alabama. And if you're going across your Facebook looking at different things, stop right here and let's talk Lower Alabama this morning as we get ready for a big weekend in Troy, Alabama as everybody's heading to the beach and whatever, because the weather is good. In fact, temperatures this weekend will feel like late spring and early summer time because of wonderful weather coming in here. And of course, we got basketball and we've got a lot going on to make a lot of folks happy. And for you War Eagles, we're going to shoot it to you today. Good morning and welcome, War Eagles, you Auburn Tigers, getting ready to play for the national championship this weekend in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It's the Auburn Tigers going up against the Virginia Cavaliers from beautiful Minneapolis, Minnesota. And ladies and gentlemen, one more time, War Eagle for the first time ever. Auburn heading to the Final Four in basketball. First time ever Alabama or Auburn have ever been to the Final Four. And Auburn has done it first. Auburn going to the Final Four in college basketball. And that all starts on Saturday, tomorrow at 5:09 Central Time. And we've got a telephone call coming in here right now. Good morning. How you doing?
Hey, morning.
The big news, of course, ladies and gentlemen, is not just Auburn going to the Final Four. It is Troy is looking for a new athletic director. Tell us the story, Mike.
Well, I mean, as far as what I've read, Jeremy McClain decided to go back to Southern Miss, where he previously was associate AD, and a situation where their AD, who had been there for 17 years, I believe, left to take the job at East Carolina. And Jeremy McClain, of course, had worked there before and is from the Mississippi area, went to college at Delta State, and felt like that was the best fit for him and his family to take the Southern Miss job. You can't blame him. Might have been a big pay raise, who knows. Situation where he felt like that was the best fit for him. I think he did a good job at Troy. I tell you what, it's amazing that you can hire a basketball coach at the same time you're interviewing for another job as an athletic director of another university. But I think so far the basketball hire, of course, he has not coached a game, will be a good one. And then I think Chip Lindsey, as hired as the new football coach to replace Neil Brown, will be a good one as well. Of course, all these coaches, I'm sure, are upset because they are loyal to the guy that hired them.
Exactly right.
Will be extremely interesting to see where Troy goes. Will they go with somebody experienced and a background in athletics? Will they go to a former coach? Will they go to a CEO of a Fortune 500 company? Athletic directors aren't necessarily jocks anymore. They're kind of
a name I heard yesterday.
500 people than normal now. It's a lot different than it used to be.
Yeah. Hear ye, hear ye. The name I heard several times yesterday. You're not going to believe it. At 3 different places, in 3 different venues, I heard the name of a guy that you know pretty well, Mike, former Troy University basketball coach, and a big friend of Troy University's. What would you think about that?
Well, I mean, Don Maestri is retired and lives in Tuscaloosa, and he's the youngest 72-year-old you'll ever meet. Still has tons of energy, and that's a name that you'll hear. I mean, I have no clue if Coach Maestri has any want or desire to be the athletic director at Troy.
But you know what, Mike? It came from 3 real big Troy supporters at 3 different places. You were one of them, but then I had 2 more people that are what I call big-time Troy supporters mention Don Maestri. Can you believe that?
Well, I mean, I think that's just what, a lot of us...
Well, it would bring a lot of class to the program, there's no question about it.
It's what a lot of us think of Coach Maestri as well. We definitely love Coach Maestri and what he did at Troy and what he did with the community. I mean, I think a lot of fans would rally around athletics if he was hired, but it might be a situation he didn't want anything to do with it. He's enjoying retirement.
It might not, and you're right. And this did not come from Don Maestri, but 3 different people, including Mike Amos, mentioned the name of Don Maestri. I tell you one thing he would bring to the table is he can promote. The guy is one of the best promoters I've ever been around. He, and he's one of these guys that would make a lot of people that have not been in with the program for a while come back to the program and enjoy a well-rounded sports program.
Of course, Jeremy McClain also, had a lot of people on his staff that a lot of people think highly of as well. So who knows if they'll promote from within or what will take place.
One of them is a guy named Butch Jones, who I think the world of, and Butch Jones.
Not Butch Jones. That's the former Tennessee coach, Brent Jones.
Brent Jones. Sorry about that, bro.
That would be breaking news. That Butch Jones was a candidate for the Troy AD job.
I tell you what, the one we've got here, Brent Jones, is a good one, and he is. Brent Jones and Kyle, Mike, have done as well as any 2 people to promote Troy University athletics as anybody we've ever had here.
I mean, you got to be impressed, about what they've done. Of course, Jeremy McClain brought those 2 guys from Southern Miss, and I'm sure he'll try to bring them back with him to Southern Miss. So I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah. All right. While we're looking
at it, I will say that, like I said before, though, he's had a lot going on. Not only does he fire the basketball coach, he fires Coach Cunningham, he hires Scott Cross, and then that's before that he hired Chip Lindsey.
That's right.
So he's been really busy, and then he's trying to find his own job.
Exactly right. Troy Athletics Director Jeremy McClain, who has hired a head football coach and head basketball coach in the past 3 months, was hired to the same position at Southern Mississippi in Hattiesburg on Thursday. Jeremy McClain is not only a good man, in my opinion, he is one of America's most promising young leaders in intercollegiate athletics and administration. Troy Chancellor Jack Hawkins Jr. said in a statement issued by the school, "He has done an outstanding job at Troy, and we thank him and his family for their service to our university." Of course, he was here for 4 years. McClain, who came to Troy in 2015 after overseeing the day-to-day operation as assistant AD at Southern Mississippi for 3 years, also was a Delta State AD for 5 years before his arrival at USM. USM President Rodney Bennett sent a message to the school's faculty and staff on Thursday announcing the hire. He said McClain likely will start in July. So McClain is going to work here, I think, a month, Mike, before he leaves, which I think is a wonderful gesture on his part. And of course, to go in but to finish what he had done. And boy, what a great job he has done, and we're excited about him. Some other things.
Are you sure about that? Because I'm reading Deputy Director of Athletics for Internal Operations, Senior Women's Administrator, and Sandy Atkins will serve as Interim Athletic Director.
Well, all right, I could be wrong.
She held prior to McClain's arrival, so I think Atkins will be the interim AD until they hire somebody permanently. Well, he's probably gone, I would think.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, he won't leave tomorrow. Surely he'll give him 10 days to finish up what he started.
He's definitely a young up and comer in athletics. You're the AD at Delta State, a Division II school. You went to Southern Miss, associate AD, and then you went to Troy as the athletic director, and now you're going to Southern Miss as AD. So remember that name. He's a guy that's will probably be in the SEC one day. You'd think on the path he's going right now. Congratulations. congratulations to him. I do think he did a good job at Troy. He was a classy guy. And, Troy will find a good fit. They always have. We felt the end of the world had happened when we lost Johnny Williams several years ago. It broke a lot of hearts. And
sure did.
He ended up going to Alabama and being associate AD right behind Mal Moore. A lot of people thought he was going to get that Alabama AD job. And that was heartbreaking. And then, a lot of people, probably didn't think as fondly of Steve Dennis. But, as far as a person, he was a great AD. Great person.
Yeah, no question.
And he was AD for 7 or 8 years, and then Hardwell changed a lot of stuff around. Got rid of a legendary coach, and also hired Neil Brown. So and now he's at Utah State doing a really good job. So we'll just see what happens.
Troy and Dr. Jack Hawkins Jr. They find a way to look very good in any situation, and I think you're exactly right, Mike. Let me finish this about McClain. It says, we know Jeremy Bennett said that in that message, Jeremy knows us. Jeremy McClain is a Southern Miss guy who shares the values and ambitions of the University of Southern Mississippi. Well, before, I'll tell you this, President, he was a Troy guy for a while until you offered him a pretty good opportunity to go back to Southern Mississippi, and they did financially. I know that for a fact. And of course, the University of Southern Miss is a great school. Southern Miss has an interim AD and interim deputy AD since December after John Gilbert left for the same position at East Carolina. McClain, had a 4-year tenure at Troy, was marked with growth both in the classroom and in the competition across all of the Trojans' athletic programs. Additionally, McClain oversaw the construction of the state-of-the-art Troy football north end zone and led the charge for restructuring of the Troy Athletics Department. And ironically, Southern Mississippi football program plays the Trojans in Troy on September the 14th. Troy's all-around athletic success was highly highlighted last season when Troy finished third in the 2017-2018 Bubba's Cup standings, which is
I've never heard of that.
Well, it's
the Sun Belt Conference All Sports Trophy.
That's right, which is great. That's how you grade yourself, really. And that, like Mike just said, Bubba's Cup. It's hard for me to say that. I feel like I'm talking about shrimp.
I don't think it's Bubba's. It's Bubas.
Bubas Cup, and of course, standing, which is the Sun Belt Conference All Sports Trophy, the best finish in Troy's 13-year history, Mike. That'll tell you something right there. My family and I want to thank Troy community for their amazing support and love over the past 4 years, McClain said. We are thankful to so many for making our time here so special. I need to especially thank Dr. Jack Hawkins, the Board of Trustees at Troy, and our athletic department staff for their support of and commitment to my family and Troy athletics. Their ability to come together and pursue a common goal has helped this athletic department raise the bar forever. We will miss you all, said Troy. We miss you all, and Troy will forever be a part of us, McClain said. McClain had been busy in early January. He hired Chip Lindsey as the Troy football coach, replacing Neil Brown, who went to West Virginia last month. He fired basketball coach Phil Cunningham and replaced him with Scott Cross, a TCU assistant, best known for turning around Texas Arlington's Sun Belt program. Troy has set attendance records in football, men's basketball, women's basketball, baseball, softball, soccer during his tenure. Now, I don't know about that. What do you think? I'd almost question that because...
question what, soccer?
No, I'm talking about basketball. But see, it's such a big arena, you can't tell how many people are in there. But, and that was probably the reason.
No, I do not believe that tennis and basketball has been good at all.
Yeah. McLean.
They might have had a few games where they got around 2,500, 3,000 people, but they've never come close to selling it out.
Yeah, spearheaded Troy's expanded presence on the digital side of collegiate athletics. At the forefront, Troy's expanded partnership with ESPN3 and ESPN Plus for Troy's self-produced volleyball, men's basketball, women's basketball, college baseball, softball, and games for broadcast. That's good, but everybody can't get it, and I don't think they've done a real good job of promoting ESPN Plus and how you get it and whatever. If it's such a good program, everybody in our community needs to be on that, don't you?
Well, I mean, you got to realize, we're representing Troy Cable, so that's the reason we probably shouldn't even talk about it that much. I mean, we want people to, subscribe to Troy Cable and do what Troy Cable offers. ESPN Plus is a streaming. I can get it on a streaming device because I don't live in Troy, but there's tons of different ways you can get it. I mean, all you got to do is go on the ESPN app.
And again, and I'm glad for it, and I'm not ridiculing anybody.
You can also get ESPN3 if you have streaming devices like I have. I mean, there's all kinds of different things out there now, different kinds of television that you can get stuff.
So really, you could actually...
Troy Cable offers it through their internet.
Yeah.
So
but now,
it's easy to do, and somebody up there, maybe when you get off the show one day, can show you how easy it is.
Well, let me just tell you this. Of course, you're a guru, man.
I'm not a guru, but I know how to get an app and find a basketball or baseball game on it.
I know it.
So,
I know it.
I mean, that's why you're able to watch it at the Troy Country Club. I'm sure it's through Troy Cable.
Yeah, it is. No question about it. But at the same time, we want to mention that you're right. There's a lot of folks like me, old men like me, that are not real good at stuff like that. And but I think we need to be educated more on how we can do it, because it actually shows you that every basketball game is televised. Is that right?
Well, some of them are not. Some of them on ESPN3. Some of them are on the ESPN Plus app.
All right, but at the same time, though,
ESPN Plus is $4.99 a month.
Yeah. All right, but I will ask you this too, though.
Now, some of the baseball games have been on Facebook Live through Troy Athletics, so that's free.
Yeah, that is great. They do that. No question about it. That we're able to see it, and again, hopefully, we can educate people.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I talk about it all the time. Everybody knows that I've had my wife and I have a 2-year-old and a 1-year-old, and unfortunately, I haven't been able to go to as many ball games as I would like over the last 2 and 3 years, and it's been great for me to be able to watch all the football games on ESPN Plus or ESPN3.
And again, I'd like to be able to sit here every day and say, all right, Troy's going to be on TV tonight or whatever. But now, sometimes some of that is good and some of that is bad. When you're trying to raise money or whenever you're trying to, want your program to make money, the worst thing in the world is live television. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on, you're dealing with the elderly, you're dealing with health issues, you want those people to have the chance,
sure.
I mean, if I'm going to be getting up there in age one day and can't get out as much as I used to, I'd love to have that option.
Yeah, no question about it. And of course, another thing, too.
Also, big news, we're talking about Scott Cross being an assistant at TCU, Texas Christian University, and, we mentioned yesterday that Jamie Dixon is the top candidate to be the new UCLA coach in basketball. So, that's a situation where, Scott Cross, of course, has been hired at Troy, but if Dixon does leave Texas Christian University, would he be their top choice to replace him? But now it turns out that Dixon maybe will not get the UCLA job because he has an $8 million buyout.
Oh, boy. I don't know if anybody in the country's got that bigger buyout, Mike.
Avery Johnson had $8 million in Alabama, but he got it down to 5.5.
God, is this guy at TCU that good? What's his name again?
Yeah, he's a legendary coach, Jamie Dixon.
Now, where has he coached before?
He was at Pittsburgh. He won 30 games at Pittsburgh 3 or 4 different times. He's a really good coach.
Yeah.
And then it taken TCU to the NCAA tournament last year. But he's a guy that's a really good coach. He's only 53 years old, too.
Yeah. Well,
hopefully Scott Cross will be at Troy, and we won't have to worry about any of this.
Yeah. Well, exactly, and of course, I don't foresee any situation like that. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back with more of Today in LA.
Hey folks, are you tired of spending hard-earned money on a gas grill only to have it burn up in less than 2 years? Not to mention burning your food. Here at Southern Grill and Patio in Troy, Alabama, we carry the Holland Grill line. They've been around since 1988, and there are people right here in Troy that have had theirs for over 20 years. These grills are guaranteed not to flare up. You can grill, steam, or smoke on your new Holland Grill today. Come see us at Southern Grill and Patio in Troy, Alabama, inside Town and Country Flooring Center.
If you've had an accident or just want a new look for your vehicle, come see us at Troy Paint and Body, where we do it right the first time. Our staff has more than 100 years combined experience and can handle repairs and paint work on any make or model. We also offer a lifetime guarantee as long as you own your vehicle. Our 24-hour towing service means we're here when you need us. Troy Paint and Body, where we may meet by accident, but you'll be glad we did. So come see us at Troy Paint and Body, located on South Brundage Street in Troy beside the post office.
When you are handed the key to a new Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick or GMC, rev up your imagination. Think of all the places you can go in some of the most stylish, best quality cars available on the market today. Feel confident driving vehicles with superb dependability and safety ratings. And smile, you saved a ton of money because you bought at Bill Jackson. Let the only thing holding you back be the end of the road. A Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC vehicle will not only change your life, it saves you money like nowhere else.
Troy Cable Security makes it easy to stay aware and stay in control of your home wherever you are. User-friendly interface allows easy navigation for lights, locks thermostat, video, and garage doors. Never worry about leaving your garage door open or the front door unlocked. Your mobile app can send alerts to your phone for alarm and no alarm events. Know when your children arrive home from school with video response. Make sure your home is powered by Troy Cable Security for ultimate access, awareness, and protection.
Back to our show, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you by Pike County Ford on the bypass right here in Troy, where you can find values like you will not believe on Ford F-150 pickup trucks. A great selection of new and used cars and trucks at Pike County Ford on the bypass right here in Troy. Want to mention Piggly Wiggly? I'll tell you right now, the produce there is wonderful. I love the way they cut those cantaloupes where I can eat them. They cut those cantaloupes and wrap them tight, and boy, I love cantaloupes, and I buy my cantaloupes there all the time, and of course I buy my steaks there. It's a wonderful place to shop for groceries, is at Piggly Wiggly on the bypass.
Of course, when you eat cantaloupe, you got to have pepper, black
That's
pepper
right.
with it.
You're exactly right. Give me black pepper with my cantaloupe. And also on North 39th Street right here in Troy. And of course, right now, Mike, how about this? $5.95 for T-bone steaks. How about that?
Wow, that's a great deal right there.
And what you do, and of course, get them cut as thick as you want them or whatever, and that's a great value. That's a family pack, but I'm sure they'll work with you on those selections, and it's a great place. I want to mention also their new sponsors. It's called the Ground Floor. It's a new coffee shop located in the old Bill Chapman building on the square in downtown Troy. And they're open from, listen to this, Mike, they're open from 6:30 in the morning to 9 o'clock at night for good old hot coffee. And I know you love good hot coffee.
My wife loves good hot coffee. I do not drink coffee.
Yeah, isn't that a shame?
I drink a lot of tea.
Yeah. Well, that means you like caffeine, is that right?
Yeah, I like a little caffeine. It's kind of helps me get going.
Deputy Director of Athletics for Internal Operations and Senior Women's Administrator Sandy Atkins will serve as the interim athletic director, title she held prior to McLean's arrival in Troy, and an internal committee headed by Dr. Doug Patterson, Special Assistant to the Chairman, and former Vice Chancellor of Troy University, will handle the search for the new athletic director. So I'm sure that is well in hand. Of course, again, a lot going on this weekend. We've got several events happening, Mike, and I cannot believe this, that Ozark and Enterprise have an event right side by side this weekend. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And Piney Woods Arts Festival starts, well, it's on April 13th and 14th. And that will be at the Enterprise Community Center. And a big crawfish, and Steve Camp type crawfish to do in Ozark tomorrow. So that'll be a lot of fun to get ready and go to the Crawdad Music Festival in downtown Ozark, starting tomorrow, or April 6th, starting on April the 6th, which will be tomorrow, from 9:30 a.m. till 4 o'clock p.m. You can come downtown and watch this free. It's wonderful entertainment, and enjoy delicious crawfish. The Crawdad Music Festival in downtown Ozark. Some of the bands there, Kane and the Saints, Kyle Mitchell, Kane and the Saints start at 9:30. Then Kyle Mitchell comes on at 11:30, and Glory Days is on stage at 2:30. So it's gonna be some fun times in downtown Ozark tomorrow, starting tomorrow.
The Trojan Tour 2019 has scheduled times and dates, and don't really know how you're going to do a Trojan Tour when you don't have an athletic director, but I guess they're going to try.
Well, you know what?
April 30th, they'll be at Riverwalk Stadium in Montgomery prior to the Troy baseball game against Alabama State.
Yeah. What's
May
the date on that?
They'll be at the Troy University Phoenix City campus at 6 p.m. May 9th, they'll be at Veterans Memorial Stadium, North End Zone Plaza. May the 14th will be at McGuire's Irish Pub in Pensacola, Florida,
that'd be
11:30.
fun.
And then at May 14th, they'll be at the Elks Lodge, Fort Walton Beach, Florida. I guess that's the one I can go to.
Or a seafood feast, Mike. A seafood feast. I promise you, that's Lord Taylor doing that.
And then May 17th, they'll be at the Hero Sports Bar on Hillcrest in Mobile, Alabama, prior to the Troy baseball game against South Alabama. So that might be a fun trip for you to go to on May 17th.
That's right.
And then on the 28th, they'll be at Buffalo Wild Wings of Dothan. June the 4th, they'll be at the Enterprise Country Club in Enterprise. June the 14th, they'll be at the Greenville Country Club in Greenville, Alabama.
Boy, I tell you.
And then on August the 3rd, they'll be at Riverwalk Stadium in Montgomery as Troy University night at the Biscuits game.
Oh man, boy, what a and you
That's
get
It's quite a tour. They just got to find an AD to go to all those events, I guess.
Well, coaches will be represented. The football coach, the basketball coach,
will be there.
If you can.
Cross will be there, is what they're mentioning.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be a fun time, and all that starts when, Mike?
Well, the first event was in Birmingham in March, but the next event will be on April 30th at Riverwalk Stadium in Montgomery.
All right, well, that'll be good.
So that gives them plenty of time to hire an athletic director and get them out there on tour.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we're sitting...
Well, actually, her or him, I guess, Who knows who the AD will be.
Well, Mike, I was telling people this week, and if you want to go see the Braves now, you need to go ahead and go. They'll be at home against the Marlins today, Saturday, and Sunday, and then we'll head out for a two-game stint out at Colorado against the Rockies, and then come back home on Friday. Wait a minute, that's not right. All right, well, we're already there. But a home stint against the Marlins, 3 games, and give you an opportunity to see the Braves play tonight, Saturday, and Sunday. Troy University is on the road.
The Braves just swept the Cubs, so they're playing pretty good baseball right now.
That's good. And, Mike, we need to go look at that new stadium. Everybody says it is a beautiful stadium in a great venue. That is wonderful restaurant.
It's Atlanta spring break, and my wife and I were at dinner last night in Graydon at Braga, our favorite Italian place, and sitting at the bar, and
wait a minute, you were sitting at the what?
At the bar at Barago. So two couples came in. We started conversations, and they were from Atlanta, and we started talking about Braves, and they were telling me about how amazing the new ballpark is, and that's something I definitely should go.
And a wonderful venue, restaurants, a lot of things to do around it. Atlanta has opened up.
Enjoyed the conversation. Started talking to them. You know, two of the people in the couples went to Auburn. Then one of them went to Florida, and then the guy on the end went to Georgia. But before the end of the conversation, we were talking back and forth. His last name was Brom, and his first cousin is Jeff Brom, the head coach of Purdue. So we had really good conversation about Jeff Brom and how he didn't go to Louisville. And
what was his reason for not going to Louisville?
Well, I mean, I think it was a situation where him and his family enjoyed Purdue, and he wanted to try to
Well, I shouldn't say that. Purdue's really a bigger school.
They had a lot of issues, and as far as the athletics and a lot of stuff going on with the program at Louisville at the time, I think he just wanted to stay put.
But another thing too, and of course the pizza guy is out at Louisville, which he was a huge part of their athletic program for a long time.
They just put on the board though. Papa John's trying to, I guess, do a media blitz, but the new board member at Papa John's Pizza is Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh no, he bought into it, so it'll be big, no question about it.
He's on the board there.
Okay, but I shouldn't say. I would think Purdue is a bigger school than Louisville, wouldn't you think? Big Ten school, Big Ten school.
Louisville's a town, though. He told me he grew up in Louisville, and he said Louisville's a town is one of the funnest towns you can be in.
Really, I didn't know that.
Restaurants and things to do. He said Louisville's a great town.
It's got the Kentucky Derby. That's pretty big. You're right. Yeah. They make baseball bets there, and you were taken personally to get your personalized baseball bet made. You remember that?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And they told you, and of course you swang it and swang it hard, didn't you?
The Braves had a guy last night. Of course, he's been playing for the Braves for several years. His name's Nick Markakis. He went 5 for 5 last night with 5 RBIs. That's a pretty good night.
Gosh, he did. Of course, it'd be a great time to go over there. Now, everybody said, well, it might be sold out, but I'll tell you this: I've never seen a Brave game where you couldn't get tickets at regular price. Have you?
Yeah, you usually can walk around the stadium and find somebody selling something pretty decent.
Yeah, it really is. But again, it's a great opportunity for you to go this weekend and be a part of it. Of course, next weekend is the Hall of Fame weekend, and one of my dear friends, John Fairclough, will go in as one of the inductees this year. And Mike, boy, if you want to put the word in a dictionary, tough, hard-nosed, you put his picture next to it. He was not only a great player, All-American player, but was a super coach and administrator. In fact, he led the Alabama Independent Schools for over 30 years, and I'm going to try to bring him on my show early next week.
Yeah, I mean, it's an exciting time of year with the spring game coming up and then the Hall of Fame coming up as well. Surprised they didn't do the spring game and the Hall of Fame on the same day.
Yeah, it would have been a good idea because right now they're flirting with Easter weekend, but of course they've got the game scheduled for 11 o'clock Saturday, which I think is one of the reasons why they're playing at 11 o'clock is I'm sure they've probably got a baseball game slated for that weekend too, but also gives people a chance to go home and enjoy Easter with their family.
Yeah, Troy's on the road in baseball at Texas State. Of course, the red-hot Troy baseball team, Coach Smart, has got them playing good ball right now, and hopefully they can get at least 2 out of 3 against the Bobcats this weekend.
Yeah.
It's one of those situations where Troy struggled early, but now they've won 4 out of the last 5, and I think going to Coastal Carolina a few weeks ago and playing them really tough really gave this team a lot of confidence. You went in there and played a team that was ranked 14th in the country and almost won every game, won 1 game, but after that they've been playing really good baseball.
Yeah, no question about it. And chemistry, and we talk about chemistry on this show. You know, you got to have chemistry in the athletic department. I felt like that's what we had with Jeremy McLean. You know, and you know, the chemistry is being hurt a little bit because they're going to bring in another person. But at the same time, in athletics, Mike, chemistry, especially in basketball, I reckon it's more evident in basketball than anything. Wouldn't you think?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's also, you know, I mean, as far as, you know, baseball and stuff, you know, the pitcher and the catcher, you know, I mean, as far as, you know, calling games and stuff like that, I mean, that's always important, you know, as far as, you know, kind of getting in a good, you know, rotation as far as throwing throughout a game. I mean, that's important. I mean, you also, you know, in football, with your quarterbacks and your wide receivers, you know, you got to have chemistry there too. So I mean, it's that way in every sport, really.
Exactly, and of course, it is big. And
I'll say this: basketball is one of those things where, you know, execution for as plays. You know, I mean, that's the biggest thing in basketball is basically being able to run the play the coach is calling. You know, from the bench.
And a lot of people say, well, this guy shot the ball 10 times more than the other guy shot the ball. Well, I say chemistry is where, hey, give it to the guy who's hot. And you know what I'm saying? If a guy's hot shooting, get the ball in his hands as much as possible. If not, move the ball around until you get a good shot and get it to who's in position to score. You know, that has a lot to do with it.
And that's what Troy, I think, where they fell this year. I mean, they counted on Bernardo too much. I mean, the whole offense went through him, and
well,
when he was not out there on the court, it just, you know, they just like a totally different team. They looked lost almost.
Yeah. You know, I asked a question the other day at the when he was introduced to the Troy people and the staff and all that. It's been a week now, I think. And I asked the question, do your teams shoot free throws well? Now, some people might have chuckled at that. Does your team shoot free throws well? That is one thing in basketball I think you can coach, is coach people to shoot free throws well. Don't you agree?
Well, I mean, it's practice and repetition.
You believe Vanderbilt all those?
Also, you gotta bring in crowd noise as well to make it, you know, like under a game pressure, you know, with fans and stuff like that.
Yeah. But what I'm saying, it's very important to shoot 75% from the free throw line. You got a chance to win if you do that. If you look at all these games been played, I bet you the team that had the most tries at free baskets probably won the ball game. When you say free throws.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at most of these NCAA tournament teams, they all shoot good free throws. I mean, you got to take advantage of it. It's free, man.
Well, you know, for you, well, another thing too, you drive the ball to the basket and get what we consider a very good shot at the goal. Most of the time, you'll either score or get fouled, or score and get fouled. You know what I'm saying? And have a chance to make a 3-point play. I think we've got too much emphasis on the 3-point play in college basketball. I really believe that.
Well, they're talking about moving it back a little farther. I think that might be a good idea.
Really, like the NBA or what?
Yeah, moving it back to the NBA range.
Is that pretty substantial? I mean, is that something that you've heard to be true?
Well, no, I mean, they've always talked about it. I don't know for sure if they'll do it or not, but you know, I think they probably should. I mean, you got everybody on Auburn's roster can shoot the three.
Want to mention also the last weekend.
I guess the only guy that couldn't shoot the three is maybe Austin Wiley, the 6'11" guy. I've never seen him shoot one.
Well, you know, he mentioned, the coach mentioned that a lot of the big tall guys don't shoot free throws as well, and you know, the biggest example of that would be somebody like the great one, Wilt Chamberlain. You're right. He shot it like not like the old times. But then you turn around and you look at Rick Barry. Rick Barry, what, about 6'9"? He shot 90-something% from the free throw line. Bob Pettit shot 90-something% from the free throw line. The good shooters will shoot well from the free throw line, don't you think?
Well, Rick Barry, he shot him under Granny style, didn't he?
Yeah, he shot it. Rick Barry shot it Granny style.
The worst free throw shooter I've ever seen in my life was Shaquille O'Neal. He was the worst by far.
It is unreal. It is unreal. And just think what he would have averaged.
He shot under 50% his whole career.
Yeah, that was unreal. And you know, I always talk about the great one from Hayneville that was one of the all-time Troy greats. He was another guy that could not hit free throws. Are you still on the line?
You're talking about Anthony Reed?
Anthony Reed, the great Anthony Reed, averaged close to 20 points a game, but probably shot less than 50% from the free throw line. What I was saying was, if he would have been a good free throw shooter, he would probably average close to 30 points a game. You know? Okay, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, it's one of those type things you can kind of watch a game and see a guy go to the line, and you can kind of know who's going to make them and who's not going to make them.
Yeah. Exactly right. Let's do it one more time, and we'll go on break after this. The Auburn Tigers getting ready to play in the Final Four, the most prestigious basketball tournament in the world, this Saturday afternoon, 5:09 Central Standard Time on Channel 8 on your Troy cable dial. It's Auburn against Virginia in the first round of the championship Final Four. Mike, who do you like? Who do you like?
Sorry, I got two little ones crying right now. I like Auburn to beat Virginia.
I like it too. Can you believe they're 5.5-point underdog right now? That surprises me.
Well, I mean, it's one of those situations where they like to slow it down. Auburn likes to speed it up. But I think when it's all said and done, I think Auburn's just going to be able to outscore them. Yeah. They're going to get up. They're going to get up more shots, and I think Auburn's going to hit more threes.
Yeah. And Auburn is
if Auburn had Chuma Okeke, I really think, I mean, they'd be the favorite to win it all.
Yeah, exactly. Well, look, thank you. Take care of what you need to there, and we'll be back to more of Today in LA right after this.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Troy Cable Security makes it easy to stay aware and stay in control of your home wherever you are. User-friendly interface allows easy navigation for lights, locks thermostat, video, and garage doors. Never worry about leaving your garage door open or the front door unlocked. Your mobile app can send alerts to your phone for alarm and no alarm events. Know when your children arrive home from school with video response. Make sure your home is powered by Troy Cable Security for ultimate access, awareness, and protection.
Have you seen an increase in your insurance premiums or significant change in your insurance coverage? Let Sandbeck Insurance offer you a better plan to suit your business or personal needs. Sandbeck Insurance offers many lines of insurance, whether it's home, farm, or auto insurance, work comp, business, or health and life policies. Sandbeck is here for you. Call or visit our Troy, Enterprise, or Andalusia office today. Sandbeck Insurance, where we take pride in taking care of your insurance needs.
Trojan Auto Parts of Troy, home of Napa Know-How. Stop by and see owners Mike and Melissa Kilcrease and their Napa Know-How team with over 100 years of combined experience. We're the only locally owned parts store in Pike County, and we're fully stocked and ready to serve you. We pride ourselves on being your go-to parts store, not only for the simple items, but we specialize in those hard-to-find items as well. Trojan Auto Parts, the right part at the right price at the right time. Napa, a name you've trusted here in Troy since 1945.
Napa Know-How.
If you've had an accident or just want a new look for your vehicle, come see us at Troy Paint and Body, where we do it right the first time. Our staff has more than 100 years combined experience and can handle repairs and paint work on any make or model. We also offer a lifetime guarantee as long as you own your vehicle. Our 24-hour towing service means we're here when you need us. Troy Paint and Body, where we may meet by accident, but you'll be glad we did. So come see us at Troy Paint and Body, located on South Brundage Street in Troy beside the post office.
Back to our show, brought to you by Premier Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram trucks on the bypass right here in Troy. And boy, they've got some unbelievable prices right now on beautiful cars and trucks and Jeeps and Ram trucks, and then their used car selection is unreal. You can take today's paper today, the Messenger, and it's in color, and they advertise each week, and they start from their lowest price, and this is a price that will knock your socks off now. I'm telling you, that's located right here in this newspaper. But shop this newspaper and then go by and see the wonderful sales going on at Premier Dodge, Chrysler, and Jeep right here in Troy. I want to mention the Cattlemen's Association's giant sale. It starts tomorrow right here in Troy at 8 o'clock. There's over 1,000 items that will be sold, and they're located on Highway 231 South. If somebody with that group is watching our show today, call this number 670-2000, 670-0052, 670-0052, and tell us more about it. They've got cars and trucks. I think they've got close to 30 cars and trucks they're going to be selling at auction tomorrow at the Cattlemen's Park right here on 231 South. They've got 30 cars and trucks for sale, and they'll start that sale at 11 o'clock. The other auctions will start at 8 o'clock sharp. Now, today, there will be no sale, but you can go out and, starting right now, go out right at 8 o'clock and go out and take a look at all the items that will be auctioned off. Should be a lot of fun and some great deals. They've got lawnmowers, they've got most everything. You can think of trailers, bicycles, golf carts, whatever all kinds of items are for sale. And they'll be auctioned off starting from the first item on tomorrow at 8 o'clock. And of course, you need to go by today or tomorrow and get your bid cards where you can, when you want to bid on an item, let's just say this is your bid card. You say, I'm number 272 and I want to bid on that item right there. But there will be this is a tremendous sale, ladies and gentlemen. Over 1,000 items, and I think there's something like 1,100 items right now. And they do it so well, and of course they'll be out there. The world famous Mr. Johnson's hamburgers will be available. You can go out and spend the whole day long out at the Cattlemen's looking at items, bidding on items, talking to friends, old friends, and I promise you, there'll be thousands of people that will come through there and looking for a bid. So whether or not you're in Luverne, you're in Andalusia, you're in Opp, you're in Florella, you're in Dothan, you're in Geneva, all of these Troy cable lines of course, also over in Union Springs on Lake Martin. I'm sure there'll be some boats. Hopefully there'll be some boats for sale. They've got everything, and the sale starts tomorrow right at 8 o'clock sharp. And like I said, you can go through and look at all the items today. In fact, I'm going to ride out there myself this morning and take a look at some of the items for sale at this giant sale of all kinds of items starting at the Cattlemen's Association at 8 o'clock sharp in the morning. So go out there and take a look at what's there. Then make your mind up on what you want to bid. I think that's a great deal. Somebody with the Cattlemen's Association, it will tickle me if you would call us this morning and talk to us about it, because it is a big sale going on. We mentioned also a lot of other things. The Reunion Troy mural will be artist Alex McClendon will design, a Troy artist will design the Troy's bicentennial celebration mural that depicts the places, the people, and the stories of the city of Troy. McClendon and her dear friend and teacher Pam Smith are taking the lead on the mural project. The Reunion Troy Committee conceives of the city's project for the final year of its 3-year centennial. I want to mention some other things going on and some big ball games. Pike Liberal lost a tough one last night to one of what I think is one of the up-and-coming programs in the Alabama Independent Schools. Pike Liberal fell to North Side of Methodist of Dothan 2-0 on Thursday afternoon in Dothan. What a pitcher's duel. The loss for the Patriots drops them to 17-10 overall, but watch out for Coach Ponder's team when the playoffs start. Runs and hits at a premium in the Patriots' loss. Both teams combined for just 8 hits. The game was scoreless until the bottom of the 6th inning when the Knights scored 2 runs thanks to 3 doubles. Drew Nelson, the sophomore whiz for Pike Liberal, went the distance on the mound for the Patriots. He allowed both runs on 5 hits and a walk, but he struck out 10 batters. And again, he is a phenom, ladies and gentlemen, as a 10th grader, not only as an outstanding baseball player, but he's also an outstanding football player and basketball player. So this guy is quite an athlete as a sophomore. And again, a very good team. The Patriots' 3 hits came from Jay Sykes, Levi Sykes, and Nelson. And the Patriots now will travel to Macon East, and that will be a big game Tuesday in a key area doubleheader. That will be quite a ball game there. A sweep of the Knights would give the Patriots the area championship. First pitch of the doubleheader is scheduled for 4 p.m. and that will be on Tuesday night coming up. So, as we mentioned, there was a power shortage this weekend in Troy that knocked off power on the bypass for over an hour yesterday. An excavator hit a power line, and that's what happened. Of course, also, after years of commuting for football practice, the Charles Henderson High School football team will have a new home beginning in May. But project 3 years in the making will come to a close on May the 1st when the Trojans officially unveil their new on-campus facility. And there's a good picture of it in the paper today. It's in the past, Charles Henderson, since they made their practice field into a girls' softball field, and there was no place for Charles Henderson to practice, so they went over to the stadium at different intervals to practice football, and of course they had to do it around the university, and they want to thank the university for working with them all that time to allow them a place to practice football. And Charles Henderson spent time loading buses, and now they'll have their own facility. Troy University, again, has been unbelievable to help us in the past. And of course, the city schools now have built them are in the process of building them a practice facility, which will be next to their indoor facility. When they finish this practice facility for football, it will enhance Charles Henderson athletics like very few things have in the past. Now you've got your gymnasium, you've got your indoor facilities for practice and weight room facilities, which is, I tell you, it's as good as you'll find anywhere. And then their new practice facility, and then when they play their games, they'll go to the beautiful Veterans Memorial Stadium. Charles Henderson High School of Troy now, after May the 1st, when this is completed, will really have some first-class facilities to offer their athletes. And we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back with more of Today in L.A. But before we do, War Eagle again. The Final Four tomorrow on CBS and Troy Cablevision. It's the Auburn Tigers against the Virginia Cavaliers from Minneapolis, Minnesota, the Final Four, and Auburn is there.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Troy Cable Security makes it easy to stay aware and stay in control of your home wherever you are. User-friendly interface allows easy navigation for lights, locks thermostat, video, and garage doors. Never worry about leaving your garage door open or the front door unlocked. Your mobile app can send alerts to your phone for alarm and no alarm events. Know when your children arrive home from school with video response. Make sure your home is powered by Troy Cable Security for ultimate access, awareness, and protection.
Have you seen an increase in your insurance premiums or significant change in your insurance coverage? Let Sandbeck Insurance offer you a better plan to suit your business or personal needs. Sandbeck Insurance offers many lines of insurance, whether it's home, farm, or auto insurance, work comp, business, or health and life policies. Sandbeck is here for you. Call or visit our Troy, Enterprise, or Andalusia office today. Sandbeck Insurance, where we take pride in taking care of your insurance needs.
Trojan Auto Parts of Troy, home of Napa know-how. Stop by and see owners Mike and Melissa Kilcrease and their Napa know-how team with over 100 years of combined experience. We're the only locally owned parts store in Pike County, and we're fully stocked and ready to serve you. We pride ourselves on being your go-to parts store, not only for the simple items, but we specialize in those hard-to-find items as well. Trojan Auto Parts, the right part at the right price at the right time. Napa, a name you've trusted here in Troy since 1945.
If you've had an accident or just want a new look for your vehicle, come see us at Troy Paint and Body, where we do it right the first time. Our staff has more than 100 years combined experience and can handle repairs and paint work on any make or model. We also offer a lifetime guarantee as long as you own your vehicle. Our 24-hour towing service means we're here when you need us. Troy Paint and Body, where we may meet by accident, but you'll be glad we did. So come see us at Troy Paint and Body, located on South Brundage Street in Troy beside the post office.
Back to our show, and of course, as we mentioned, a lot of softball and baseball locally around the area. And right now, a 4-1 rally by Eufaula edged Dale County 15-14. In softball is Delville sent 12 batters to the plate in the 7th inning, and ended up coming back to winning the game. The Warriors trailed at one time, but 9-2 in the game. But hey, it's not over till it's over, and they came back to stop Eufaula, and Dale County won the ball game. Wicksburg beat Headland 10-0. Northview beat Enterprise 6-4. This is all girls softball. Pike Liberal wallop Northside Methodist of Dothan 11-5, and in that game, Allie Russian had a 2-run double, and Grace Rushing knocked in another run, and as did and a 2-run home run by Maggie Phelps put the Patriots up 10-3, and they went on to win that ball game. And that's just some of the games. Cottonwood beat Houston County 23-8. In varsity baseball, Providence continued their way as Jake Smith hit a 2-run homer, and Grayson Stewart pitched a 3-hit shutout as Providence defeated Wicksburg 10-0. In high school baseball, Ashford beat Dale County 9-6. Geneva beat Strong 9-7, and the Bobcats beat Slocum 5-0. Northside, as we mentioned earlier, thanks to a 3-hit shutout by Landon Johnson, beat Pike Liberal Arts 2-0. I'll tell you this Alabama Independent School baseball is about as good as you're going to get. I'm telling you, they're very, very competitive baseball programs, and you'll see as good a baseball high school baseball there as you'll see most anywhere. I want to mention a few other things that are going on. As we mentioned earlier, Troy plays Texas State on the road in baseball, and of course, as we mentioned, Troy is playing very good right now compared to where they started off. And and the key to all good teams is, are you playing well at the right time? Like in basketball, you take Auburn; they're playing well at the right time. They were drilled. I mean, drilled by Kentucky 2 or 3 weeks ago, about 30 points, and now they beat Kentucky in the Final Four or in the tournament to now play for the first ever national championship by any team from Alabama, much less Auburn. Now I look at other teams in the SEC that have won national titles. Of course, LSU's won them. Florida has won them. The Kentucky Wildcats had won a bunch of them. The University of Arkansas had won them before. Most all of them. I don't know if Mississippi State or Ole Miss. I don't think either one of those have won national championships. Even though at one time back in the 50s and 60s, Mississippi State was pretty good. But Georgia has never won a national championship in football. I mean, in basketball, as much as far as I can think of. I don't believe Tennessee's ever won a national championship in basketball. I could be wrong. They have in women's basketball many times. But I think this will be, no question, a huge thing if this Auburn Tiger bunch will win this basketball tournament. The tournament is being played at U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Of course, that's a stadium. This is a big facility that is being, which is indoors, and they're, I don't know exactly how many people it'll hold, but it'll hold a bunch. I do want to mention this, that Auburn will have in Auburn, Alabama, you can drive over there tomorrow, and then if they win again for the championship on Monday, you can go and watch the game from the arena there at Auburn. You can go in the tailgate outside and then go in and watch the game on closed circuit television in Auburn tomorrow and on Sunday if they make it to the finals. So, Monday if they make it to the finals. So that would be a lot of fun. Just to ride up there, to put on your orange and your blue and listen to those Auburn Tigers, ladies and gentlemen. They're ready. They're ready. Are you ready to see Auburn win tomorrow against Virginia and play for a national championship with a team that wins the game between Michigan State and Texas Tech. So it's going to be a great, great tournament, and you've got a chance to be there at the stadium. I don't know if there's any cost there or not. If it is, it'd be well spent to go and watch that game among thousands of other Auburn fans. Plus, buy your toilet tissue in Troy. We need the tax revenue from it. Buy your toilet tissue in Troy because there's no toilet tissue around in Auburn, Opelika. I doubt if Montgomery's got much, but please don't throw the Charmin. That's too fine a fabric for toilet tissue in the world. Please don't throw your Charmin away in a tree. If you're going to throw toilet paper, go somewhere and buy some off-brand toilet tissue. But don't squeeze the Charmin and don't throw it on a tree this weekend in Auburn. We got a call coming in, or looking for a call coming in just a moment. Again, remember the Cattlemen's Association sale. Steve, are you going to that sale? You going to the big sale out of the Cattlemen's Park?
Yeah, I might run by there tomorrow.
But you know all about it. It's a great opportunity to buy a lot of stuff. Don't you agree? And of course, again, ladies and gentlemen, this is the biggest thing, and the reason I've emphasized so much and brought it to your attention so much about Auburn. This is a huge thing for any school in Alabama, much less Auburn, in basketball. For the first time ever, a team from Alabama is going to play in the Final Four of the National Basketball Championship in Minneapolis. And I was looking here at some other things that are going on. We talk about all of these tournaments that are going on and all these baseball teams that are going on. I want to mention a couple of things to you that'll make you feel pretty good about the way our teams have played right here in Troy. And I was looking through this, and I'm going to throw some out at you. You might not believe that it's so good, but the latest Alabama Sports Writers Association rankings are out. And of course, I mentioned some of them yesterday, but let me do it again. In baseball, two local teams, Charles Henderson and Pike Liberal Arts, remain ranked in the top 10. And Goshen continues to get votes in Class 2A. Right now, we got a call coming in. The softball.
Yes, man, I'm calling back.
All right, the softball program at Pike Liberal Arts is ranked in the top 10. Boy, I tell you, they got a coach, Mike, that really does a great job out at Pike in their softball.
Coach Rowland.
Yeah, he was on our show the other day and really does a good job. You can understand.
Have they had that turkey hunt yet?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Have the turkey hunt? Have they had the turkey hunt yet, Steve? We'll ask Steve Kemp about the turkey hunt. But also the Trojans checked in Charles Henderson with a 23-4 record, are fresh off a sweep at Greenville, and then the Trojans have won 9 straight games since their area loss to Rehoboth on March the 21st.
I mean, what a difference the season makes. It's a pretty amazing turnaround.
He has done a great job, no question about it. And the Trojans have 5 more games remaining in their regular schedule. They will take on Opp and Carroll 3 times next week. So those are 2 tough opponents right there before closing out the regular season against Dothan on April the 15th. So, and then talking about the Patriots, if they win at Macon East, they could be the top seed in the state tournament. Their 3 previous losses have been to Autauga, Lee Scott, and Tuscaloosa Academy. The Patriots have 3 games scheduled for next week, and they will travel to Macon East. And that was one game I wanted to make sure we knew that about. And one other one would be a doubleheader Tuesday before hosting Springwood on Thursday. The Goshen Eagles now are ranked in the top 10 in Class 2A, and they enter Thursday with a 12-7 record. They were scheduled to take on Luverne on Thursday, but the game has been postponed due to weather. I don't know how you can postpone one up like that. The Eagles have won 2 straight against Georgiana and Pike County by a combined score of 34-0. The Lady Patriots, as I mentioned earlier, 19-13, have lost their last 4 games. But Thursday's game against Northside Methodist, the Lady Patriots will play a doubleheader. They will also travel to Macon East before hosting Springwood next week. But all of this is going on right here in our town, and I want to emphasize more than ever how we want you to know about local sports right here on this show. So local high school sports, we're going to talk about them right here on our show. We're going to take a short break.
You mentioned that the American Football League, Alliance of American Football League, folded in the middle of the week. So these guys were literally kicked out of their hotel rooms. If they had injuries, their doctors would not cover their injuries anymore.
That was terrible.
You're talking about a disaster of a football league. I mean, embarrassing that these guys were basically told, like the day of a practice, that they're no longer going to finish the season. And some of these guys were, playing on teams in Birmingham. And,
I think you're going to see some law.
And having to try to find ways to get back to their homes and none of that was even provided by a league. I mean, what a joke.
I'll tell you what, I think you're going to see some lawsuits coming out here. Hey, you know, one of the parties involved, don't you, a guy named Steve Spurrier, do you think he's going to put up with this?
Well, you got to think those coaches probably got paid up front before they signed on to somebody else. Of course, Spurrier had the best team. They were 7-1 in the league, and Birmingham was 5-3 and made the playoffs. Of course, John Masquad was their best defensive player that played at Troy, and then Brandon Silvers was the starting quarterback of the Memphis Express team. Him and Johnny Manziel.
Yeah, that's right. In fact, he was playing ahead of Manziel, I think, wasn't he?
Of course, they signed Manziel really late, so he didn't really know the system. But you know, Silvers was playing pretty well. He had 2 straight games throwing over 260 yards. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Mike, on this Final Four tomorrow, you know, with Virginia and Auburn, of course, Virginia's got a good, solid program, no question about it. How does Auburn line up with them?
Well, I mean, you know, a lot of people think Virginia's got one of the best coaches in the country, you know, in Tony Bennett, and they're just, you know, a team that slows it down and plays great defense and, you know, runs the shot clock down. And, you know, Auburn will have to find a way to, you know, to get guys open for good looks. I mean, it's a situation where I think Auburn's definitely the more athletic team.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any doubt about that. But when it's all said and done, you know, if Virginia can guard them and Auburn's cold from outside, you know, I think Virginia can win the game. But, I mean, I definitely like Auburn's chances. I mean, Auburn's just so deep. I mean, even with losing Okiki, their best player, I thought, overall.
Yeah.
I mean, they got so many guys that can come off the bench and take his place. So.
Well, they do so well at run, too. They run real well, too, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, Texas Tech is the sleeper of them all. I mean, for them to be in the Final Four for the first time ever, I mean, it's incredible as well. But, you know, I like Michigan State probably to beat them. But
well, you know, the thing about it,
Michigan State lost their best player, Josh Langford, the kid out of Huntsville, was averaging 17 a game.
Well, hey, that's going to hurt them.
They still made the Final Four.
Oh, they still made it. And of course, there's a kid with in the NIT that's a local boy that's going to be playing in the championship. Is that right?
Kid in the NIT?
Yeah, the NIT with the bunch from Nashville.
Oh, well, they're already finished.
All right, who won that?
They got beat last night by Texas in the championship game.
What was that final score?
Liscombe.
What was that final score, Mike?
They were getting beat by 20 when the game was over.
Well, you know, Texas, I watched some of that Texas ball game the other day with TCU. They are really good, aren't they? Yeah, how do they keep from going to the big tournament, Mike?
Well, they just didn't have a very good conference record.
Again, were they?
It was the reason they didn't make it in.
They were not playing well at the right time. Is that right?
Yeah, that's definitely right.
Yeah. Well, Kermit Davis can feel good. At one time, he was coming to Troy with his Middle Tennessee program, and great guy, and said he hated to play in Troy worse than any place he had in his coaching career. He said, we can't beat them down here. He said they when we play them, they're packed out, and they're loud, and they're shouting at our bench. And, you know, if you'll think about it, Mike, the visiting bench at Troy, it was tough, man, for especially when you had Harry Baker and E.C. Oswald on top of you. That had to be tough on those coaches, don't you agree?
And then they do their 2 bits, 4 bits.
Yeah, oh yeah, but boy, they would. And your buddy Dodwell also, Mike Dodwell from Birmingham would come down, and boy, I mean, we really had a.
I think Dodwell and his son got kicked out of a game one night.
I think so. But, you know, it was a real advantage to play in the Trojan Arena or Sartain Hall at that time. Hear this, though, Mike. Kermit Davis will earn an average base salary of $3 million over the next 4 years, according to the terms of his contract. The school originally announced the contract for Davis last month, but full terms were not released. The 59-year-old led the Rebels to a 20-13 record.
Did you say he's 59?
Yeah, just 59. Davis will earn.
I thought he looked so much younger than that. That's crazy. He's 59.
Well, let's say this: he will earn $2.85 million next year, and his salary will increase to $2.95 million, $3.05 million, and then $3.15 million. You know, not bad for a little old guy that thought his career was pretty much over at one spot at Middle Tennessee, and he, of course, his daddy was a legend at Mississippi State, but he goes to the rival. I reckon Ole Miss hated to see Kermit Davis coach for Mississippi State, so they hired him. Don't you agree?
Well, you know, I mean, he was the head coach at Texas A&M when he was really young, but didn't do very well. So he was at the big time, and then was able to get back to the big time. But a
great guy who held Troy in high respect and Maester in high respect. They were all good friends, and I remember when they'd come to town, and they were something now, and they were always good. But Troy always played them off their feet at home. I miss that old gym in a way, don't you?
Well, I miss it, but I mean, it was, you know, a time for it to go. I mean, I hate that it had to get the wrecking ball. I wish they could have kept it, but I mean, Troy needed to, recruiting-wise, needed something, you know, more modern and, you know, with the practice facility involved in the new arena and the Hall of Fame stuff in the new arena. I mean, it's a blessing we have it. I mean, we just got to find a way to get fans to go to games. You know, they got to stop this horrible scheduling that they do in the Sun Belt. They have these Saturday games at 2 o'clock, and then they have these Thursday night games. That start at various different times. I mean, I don't know why you can't get back to.
And let me tell you this.
On Wednesday and having games on, you know, the men and women's games from 5 to 7 on a Saturday night, you'd have a lot more people.
I agree. The first thing this guy needs to do, this new guy that they just hired, is to make that change. And I don't like a 4 o'clock game on Saturday. Hey, listen, just think of how many people that really are not going to go fishing or play golf or go hunting. You know, during the daylight hours, people are active doing something else in Troy. They need to play the ball games at 7 o'clock at night, and everybody gets there and has a hospitality place to go and eat before the game and mesh with your friends and your former fellow Trojans. And then at 7 o'clock, just go wear somebody out. Just wear them out at 7 o'clock. Don't you agree?
The Sun Belt's got a brand new commissioner, so who knows what he'll do to make changes. Carl Benson.
And I don't know how.
Conference, and he did a lot of stuff that, you know, I didn't necessarily agree with for scheduling, and maybe some of those changes will be made. And of course, Troy now is looking for a new AD as well, so all kinds of changes going on right now. I'll tell you, Troy's got, as an athletic department's got more movement going on in the new year than probably any athletic department in the country now.
No question about it. 4 reasons why Virginia can win. I want you to hear this. Inner drive.
Virginia's got a guy that comes off the bench that averages 7 a game. That was a transfer from Alabama last year, Braxton Key.
Yeah. And, of course, they were upset last year by Maryland, Baltimore, if you remember right. But the inner drive to win is really a top priority. The number 2 thing, the nation's leading defense, Mike.
That's what I mentioned. They're a great defensive team.
And then, of course, while Purdue's Carson Edwards erupted for 42 points against Virginia, the rest of the Cavaliers' opponents this season have only managed a dozen or more points than that team, and the Boilermakers were just the 4th team in this season to score more than 70 points on Virginia. Also, Ty Jerome and Kyle Guy are 2 of the best guards in college football. Guy breaking
basketball.
Yeah, they compare those two of the best in college basketball. And then the 4th reason is DeAndre Hunter and Mamadi Dakai is the 6'7", 6'9" front line. So they're big and they play good defense, and they got 2 guards that can play well. And, you know, guards are very important in tournament time because they're the ones that got to fill it up. Don't you agree?
Well, I mean, you know, Auburn's got Bryce Brown and Jared Harper. So, I mean, just like Bruce Pearl was mentioning the speed of the SEC, you know, maybe it's a situation where Auburn can wear them out as the game goes on.
Yeah. Let me ask you this.
If they play for it all on Monday night, I cannot imagine how many people, because Auburn fans are so rabid, are going to drive to Auburn for that night.
I mentioned that just a while ago, Mike. Do you know when they'll open the doors or what?
Well, I mean, the game starts at 5:09 tomorrow night, so I would imagine they'll probably open them at least an hour before.
And then knowing Auburn, they'll tailgate prior to then. It's going to be a big event, and we told them, please don't throw the Charmin on those trees. That's a waste of great quality fabric.
Yeah, I'm sure my sister will probably roll their yard in Mountain Brook if Auburn wins.
Well, I noticed they've already put a big old Auburn blow up.
Big Albee blow up. Yeah.
I've got birthday parties galore this weekend, and
maybe Alabama's program will turn around. Nate Oates came in fifth in the Coach of the Year balloting at Buffalo, Alabama's new coach. So maybe in a few more years, Alabama can make a run like this. Who knows? This
weekend, we celebrate the birthdays of not only the guy I'm talking to, but his twin sister, and also my little granddaughter, Macon Epps, has her birthday this weekend. We
actually already had Macon's birthday. She's an April Fool's Day birthday.
Yeah, we'll have another one, I'm sure.
Her birthday was Monday, and now her birthday party will be tomorrow.
Are you going to blow out the candles for your birthday, which is also tomorrow?
I'll be honest. I'm going to be moving and getting a bunch of tape and boxing up a lot of stuff. I'm going to be making the big move with all our stuff to Grayton Beach on Sunday, so I'm going to be doing that all weekend.
Everybody knows all your business, Mike. You're letting everybody, even on Facebook, you're letting 1.5 billion people know your business, man. What do you think about that?
Well, I'm confident that I can be able to get everything done.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going out.
That's all I'm
Somebody asked me the other day what our program coverage is. Of course, on Troy Cable Channel 2, we go to 8 to 10 county area, and we're moving toward even more counties as we speak, and really are advancing our Channel 2 station here. But also,
it's not a Chamber of Commerce day down here at Grayton Beach. It's thunder and rainy, and we had about 2 weeks of the most beautiful sunny weather ever, and it started raining last night, and it's been raining pretty bad this morning as well.
So if you go down there right now,
not a great day to be at the beach.
Yeah, so that's definitely a fact, no question. But again, this Troy Cable, if you want to watch our show live, you can watch it on Facebook. And I read the other day where Facebook has over 2 billion subscribers. That's pretty good coverage, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't get on Facebook as much as I used to, but I still try to get on it, at least once every couple of days. And it is a good way to keep up with people and see what's going on.
All right, now we're not forgetting the women's tournament is also this week. It's actually next. What's the date on that? That's
I think the women's tournament will start this maybe Sunday. Maybe they're Sunday, Tuesday.
That's what I'm looking at right here. You're exactly right. I was looking at that tournament for women, and let's see.
Yeah, you got Notre Dame, you got Baylor and Connecticut, and one other team. I'm not sure who that other team is.
Yeah, and of course, well, what you got Baylor, like you said, Oregon against Baylor, and then the great one, Connecticut, playing Notre Dame. So that's pretty good.
You got Gino Ariemo, the greatest women's coach of all time.
And he was, bless his heart, though they were just 35-2 this year, but they went for a long time. How many games did they go undefeated? Do you know?
They had a streak of like 70 games, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, that's going to be something. That game is it tonight? It's at ESPN2. You're going to be carrying that game, Baylor and Oregon, at 6 p.m.
Tonight?
Yes, that's right. It'll be on Friday tonight, 7 p.m.
So they'll have their game on Friday tonight, and then their game on Sunday.
And then
I tell you what, that's two ugly uniforms there, Oregon and Baylor.
But it should be. These are no question the best basketball teams in the country. Is that right?
Well, there's no doubt that Notre Dame. I mean, they're defending national champions, and then of course UConn's always great, and then Baylor has had a great program as well. So the only team that's kind of new to the mix is Oregon.
Yeah. Okay, now next weekend is Alabama and Auburn both have their spring games. Is that right?
That's correct.
And one of the talks of the Alabama camp is a true freshman named Mike Forrestall, Miller Forrestall. That's a good name, isn't it?
He's not a true freshman. He's been on. He's a senior.
Well, he's 6'5", 234, and right now he's the only bona fide tight end. Yeah, exactly. They don't throw their tight end much anyway, do they?
What are you talking about? Irv Smith was one of the best tight ends in the country last year.
But how
about
many?
40 passes.
Did he really catch that many?
Yeah, he's gonna be a first-round pick.
Oh gosh, I didn't know that. But of course, it's a real good.
He also dropped one right in his hands against Georgia in the SEC championship game that Tua threw to him.
I got you.
You don't remember that play? That would have been a big factor in the game early.
Exactly. Munger Advertiser really has a great paper today to explain everything to you about when and where the basketball games are going to be, but also tell you who they think is going to win. And Mike, if let me ask you this: you got Texas Tech, you got Michigan State with the great coach Izzo. You've got Virginia and got Auburn. If Duke was in that tournament, who would win? Would Duke beat any of those teams?
I think Duke could have beat everybody, but Michigan State found a way to beat them, and I had Duke and North Carolina playing for the national championship in my bracket, but my bracket got destroyed.
Exactly. It's Virginia 33-3 against Auburn 30-9. That's 509.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize in the first game, Virginia at one time in that first game was down 14 to Gardner Webb.
Isn't that something, to Gardner Webb? And then, of course, Michigan State.
A lot of people don't realize, if you think back, Auburn almost got beat by New Mexico State twice. They had 3 shots to win the game. The guy, the little guard from New Mexico State, only makes one of the 3 free throws. And then they, the ball comes off the rim. Auburn doesn't get the rebound. It goes out of bounds with 1.7 seconds left. I mean, the best inbounds play I think I've ever seen in my life. The New Mexico State guys basically at the three-point line with about, 10 feet from anybody even near him. The most wide-open shot you'll ever have to win a game, and doesn't even hit the rim.
Yeah.
So, Auburn almost went out in the first round.
No question, and that's the way it works. It's big plays here and there that make
a lot of people saw Duke, though. This was trending. They had 2 games go down the wire before they got beat by Michigan State, so it really wasn't that big a surprise. Everybody was playing them close.
All right, let's now the Masters starts next week. Is that right?
That's right. You got the Texas
so
Open.
Forget about the Masters. And then
nobody's really playing in the Texas Open except Ricky Fowler and Jordan Spieth.
All right, here we are tomorrow, starting at 5:09 our time on Channel 8 on Troy Cable Vision. 33-3 Virginia against Auburn 30-9, and then 40 minutes after that game, Michigan State 32-6 versus Texas Tech 30-6. They'll play immediately after 40 minutes after that game, and then the championship, the finals, will be on Monday. No time has not been announced, but it'll be Monday, April the 8th. So that'll give you the men. The women, well, I want to mention Texas beat Lipscomb last night, 81-66. But congratulations to Lipscomb, right there out of Nashville, Tennessee, making it all the way to the championship game.
It used to be in the same conference as Troy. I don't think people realize how much fun that would be if Troy ever made a huge run at NIT like that.
Oh yeah, you'd have a lot of fun.
You get to play the finals in Madison Square Garden in New York. Having two games like that.
That's huge.
The exposure Lipscomb got was incredible. All those games are on ESPN.
Oh yeah, no question about it. Lipscomb's a good program. Of course, Belmont right down the road. A lot of people think they're as good as anybody, and but now also the women. Now this is tonight. It's starting at 6 o'clock. And what channel will that be on, Stevie? Let's see here. That will be on, it's tonight. Baylor 35-1 versus Oregon 33-4. That's 6 o'clock. If you don't like green and gold, you don't need to watch that game. UConn 35-2. UConn is the guru of women's basketball versus a very good Notre Dame team, 34-4. That game's at 8:30. So you start with championships tonight in the women, and then you move over to the championships in men's college basketball tomorrow. So it is going to be a full week of college basketball. I hope you'll enjoy it, and you'll enjoy it by watching right here on Troy Cable. Troy Cablevision, located on South Brundage Street in Troy, is one of the great cable networks in the country, especially when it comes to sports. And if you want to know how you can pick up Troy sports this fall on ESPN Plus, just call them. They can tell you how to do it, and it'll make your enjoyment of college sports even more. Isn't it great to be from Troy, Alabama, Mike Amos? What do you think?
Yeah, it's great to be from there. I look forward to the weekend, seeing all a bunch of family and friends.
Have you ever been bored living in Troy, Alabama, if you love sports?
Well, I mean, it's definitely a great town if you love sports. Of course, I'll see you, I guess, later this weekend. And
Troy baseball, Troy baseball will be on the air tonight, tomorrow afternoon, on Saturday and Sunday. So, and they'll play in Texas State. Is that right? A very good team.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and say War Eagle?
War Eagle, I'm going to go off the air with War Eagle. Ladies and gentlemen, War Eagle! The Auburn Tigers will win the national championship. I'll tell you that right now. It's Auburn over Michigan State for the national championship on Monday. We'll talk about that Monday. But first of all, they've got to get by the Virginia Cavaliers. It's Virginia and Auburn, 5:09 Eastern Central Time, right here on Channel 8 in Troy, Alabama. Have a great weekend, and go Tigers! War Eagle!